10 after 7 now. Happy to be joined by Daphne Burt of the NAC Orchestra, the Artistic Planning Manager. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you, and I'm very happy to hear that, and we've been talking about this throughout the week, about your concert coming up on Sunday in remembrance of 9/11.
Yep, September 11th is a significant event in everyone's life, and we thought that it would be appropriate for the National Arts Centre and National Arts Centre Orchestra and the Ottawa Cathedral Choir of Men and Boys to take this moment to be the commemorative ceremony in the Capitol.
And you're doing it at the exact moment that the attacks took place.
8:46 a.m. on September 11th, when the first plane hit the tower. And the concert is going to be a mix of music that evokes, all sorts of emotions, from grief to hope to remembrance to sort of triumph of the human spirit. It's beautiful, beautiful repertoire.
It's going to be happening outside?
Yep, outside on the National Arts Centre terrace, and because our music director, Pinka Zuckerman, is on tour, he invited the music director of the Toronto Symphony, Peter Ungen, to come and conduct the orchestra. So
very nice.
He's a remarkable conductor and has a great sense of occasion, so he's put together a beautiful program. Right.
This is also very interesting and personal for you.
It is, because in 2001, on September 11th, I was packing up my little apartment in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I lived. I'm an American. I had taken a job at the National Arts Centre, and I was planning to move and to leave my country and move to a different country. And it was a moment where I thought, it felt difficult, and I felt very conflicted about leaving.
Right, because at a time when your country is under attack from whatever terror forces were out there at the time.
Yeah. So you do feel like you want to dig in.
And you were leaving home to take a job here in Ottawa, which, by the way, you've been here ever since.
Which I adore.
Yes. And interestingly enough, you were not flying at the time, right?
No, I had planned to drive, mercifully, but I couldn't cross at Windsor, where I would normally have crossed. So I got to cross up at Sault Ste. Marie and experience the Trans-Canada 17 drive across. Yeah,
which can be a lonely stretch of highway at times. However, you experienced something along the way that really struck you.
Well, I conscientiously wanted to listen to the CBC as I was driving across the country, and by the time I reached North Bay, it was September the 14th, which was the National Day of Mourning, as you'll remember, and a beautiful service on the Hill. And I listened to that on the radio, and with the 3 minutes of silence being called by Prime Minister Chrétien, I noticed that all the other drivers on the highway had pulled off to the side of the road to the shoulder during that 3 minutes to observe
the 3 minutes of silence.
Yeah, it was very moving for me and very touching, and I thought, I have moved to a wonderful country where people are supportive and sensitive, and I felt very good.
I know you were upset about leaving your home country during that time. Did it made you feel better to know that we're just people like you?
It did. I think the remarks at the time were, that Canada stands with the U.S. as, friends and family, and it felt very much.
What an interesting time period for you personally, and for the world, really. And it really speaks well to the relationship we have as neighbors, and. And the remembrance that we feel and the emotion that we feel toward that event.
And it's hard to believe it's been 10 years. And I think being able to mark the anniversary with music, which is a way to non-verbally express emotions and to allow people to have a collective experience, is very important.
Everybody's welcome to attend on Sunday.
Everyone's welcome. It's free and open to the public, of course. And the National Arts Centre players have donated all their services for this, as have the choir. And the concert should last about 45 minutes, so bring your coffee. And
with the Christchurch Cathedral Choir of Men and Boys, right? Beautiful stuff.
And we have incorporated some beautiful American pieces into the program. The Samuel Barber Adagio for strings, for one, and the beautiful folk tune Simple Gifts, which the choir will sing.
Well, thanks so much for doing that. I know you're involved in organizing it, and thanks for sharing your story. I think it's a wonderful story about a time in our lives that we will never forget, and what a great way to remember it on Sunday.
It's true. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
7:14. Sarah Freemark is at the Renfrew Fair, and I believe she's cooking bacon or something. Sarah?